self-sufficient. My brothers and sisters in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be our own leaders. Allah does not want us to work for others, where we make money for others, but rather specifically in the Quran there is a verse about which most of the mufassirin have concluded from that verse that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to be our own bosses. What is that verse? Does anyone know? وَلَن يَجْعَلُ اللَّهُ لِلْكَافِرِينَ عَلَى الْمُؤْمِنِينَ سَبِيلًا. Allah will not give the disbelievers an upper hand over the believers. I want this community to be an entrepreneurial community. To be an entrepreneurial community that does loads of different activities, loads of different businesses. Australia currently is in a good economic state. It is in a good position. And by Allah, it is possible still to make a lot of money here in Australia. Again, not so that the money can go here, but so that the money can be in your hands. With it, you do as you wish. With it, you help Islam and your family and strengthen yourself and strengthen the image of Islam. My brothers and sisters, I have a bit of advice for the leaders of the Muslim organizations and Muslims in Australia. I have some advice for them because I believe this whole topic of self-sufficiency goes back to them primarily. The first thing I would like to focus on and ask all Muslim leaders in Australia, whether they be groups such as youth organizations or those dealing with other political matters, I advise them all to stop fighting. Enough. Enough of bickering, enough of infighting, enough of saying my center is great and his is not. Support me and not him. Enough is enough. And we all know what we're talking about. We all know the politics in the organizations. Enough is enough. Support each other. We need 10 organizations. We need 50 centers. We need 50 masjids. We need so many youth centers. Not just one or two. One in Broadmeadows and one in Meadow Heights. One here and one there. We need centers everywhere. I support them all. And I want you all to support all of them. If you have $2, give $1 to this one and $1 to that one. My brothers and sisters in Islam, my advice to the Muslim leaders here is number one. Please stop bickering and infighting. Stop fear-mongering and dividing people into groups. Australian Muslims are already so low in number. Then when they're further subdivided and the religious people are further subdivided, it weakens us and it weakens our resolve and weakens our self-sufficiency. But Allah, you cannot achieve any sort of self-sufficiency with this sort of behavior. Number two, my second advice to the Muslim leaders here, have a vision that is far greater than your own organization. When I ask Muslim leaders, what is your vision? Their vision is, I want to have 10 centers. Their vision is, I want to have a large youth center. What is your vision? I want to have 10 masjids. Very internal facing. Rather, I want you to have a different vision. I want you to have an externally facing vision. An example of that is that the New York Police Department, just hypothetically, I just pulled that out of the blue. New York Police Department, their success is not measured by the number of police officers that they have. Their success is measured by the amount of crime that they have stopped. So make your vision externally facing, not internally facing. And by Allah, you will notice something very different. You will notice that it doesn't matter whether you have a big center or not. You will notice that your team will not care whether you have a big place or a small place. You will notice that they care about the value that you bring to people, the number of people's lives you're touching and how well you're touching them. So have a vast vision that is not internally facing but externally facing. And also, my brothers and sisters, my advice to the Muslim leaders is not to have a plan for economic sustainability of your own centers only, but of the Muslims in general. How are we going to make the Muslims in Australia wealthier, more self-sustaining, more aware of their own affairs, more in tune with their own details and own affairs? This is what we need. Number three, My advice to the Muslim leaders here in Australia is to start using the Muslim resources that are here in Australia, properly benefiting the Muslims. An example of that is the halal certification that happens in Australia. Are you guys aware of the halal certification? How much money it makes in Australia? It makes over 10 million Australian dollars per year. Do you know how that is? 10 cents only, or 38 cents according to another report, 38 cents for every sheep that is slaughtered, that goes to Saudi Arabia or goes to Malaysia, and there's millions of sheep that are slaughtered. 38 cents. Whose money is that? Your money. That 10 million Australian dollars is enough to launch 2 to 3 schools every single year. 2 to 3 schools. We should have no problem. In the last 10 years, we should have 30 schools. But subhanAllah, that is not the case. Where is the money? Show us accountability. So these organizations that are controlling the Muslim wealth, that belongs to the people, that does not belong to them, I ask them all to be ethical and to show us that wealth and benefit the community before Allah shows it to us on the Day of Judgment and makes a case against you on the Day of Judgment. So show us that money and start benefiting people. And the last advice that I have for my Muslim leaders here in Australia is to focus on holistic education for the people. Yes, alhamdulillah, lots of organizations exist. Classes and courses are happening. Islamic lectures are happening. Tafsir classes are happening. Fiqh classes are happening. Quran tahfidh is happening. But now we also need those skills and those important stuff that is essential for people to become self-sufficient. Like what? Like leadership training, like entrepreneurial skills, like management skills. These are certain skills that the people, if they were empowered with, they would become better at work. They would become more capable of having their own enterprise. They would become more capable of having their own business. And all of this is something which I advise my Muslim leaders, may Allah have mercy upon all of them, to do. For my brothers and sisters amongst you all, couple of practical points of advice so that you can become self-sufficient. Number one, I want every single one of you to develop a clear goal for yourself in 3 things. A clear vision for yourself in 3 matters. Number one, how will I meet Allah and what state do I want to meet Allah? So one clear vision about your spiritual relationship with Allah Azza wa Jal, you as a Muslim. Number 2, I want you to have a clear goal regarding how you want to be and how your relationship will be with your family on the day that you die. So your ultimate vision regarding your relationship with your family. So your relationship goal. And number 3, I want you to all have an economic goal. What's an economic goal? How wealthy do I need to be? You know, I decided a long time ago how wealthy I needed to be. Shall I tell you how I did it? I said I needed $5,000 a week. That means I need 5 times 52 weeks, that's 250,000 Australian dollars. That means that's after tax, right, Shahid? So before tax, I need an income of approximately 350,000, right? Because I'll arrange my tax properly. Or 400,000, I need an income. So I need to pursue an option by which I can make $400,000 per year. I could be a doctor. I could be a radiologist, for example, a specialist that makes $400,000 a year. That's one option. I could start a manoosh shop or a pizza shop or something and try and make $4 million worth of sale with net profit of only 10%, giving me 400,000 of which I pay 150,000 tax and I get 250 back. Do you see what I'm trying to say? If I need 400,000 income, then you decide, what do I need to do in order to get me 400,000 income? Do I need to be a doctor from which I can get that income? Do I need a particular business by which? But this is how you can practically decide and work towards your goal. Doesn't mean it has to happen tomorrow. For me, it has yet to happen. I'm not making $5,000 a week, trust me. Okay? I'm not as yet. But that doesn't mean I won't get there. Because I have my own goals, I have my own strategies of reaching that. Most of the reason why people are not satisfied in their heart is that they don't know how much money they need to feel content. They don't know how much money they need to feel rich. Have a figure and then work towards it, just like I have taught you over here. Number two, the second advice I have for you is to prioritize your priorities. Put the most important things first. It's very important. Cut out those things in your life that are wasting time. How can you do that? You can do that with the 80-20 principle. Have you heard of the 80-20 principle? 20% of the things are giving you 80% productivity, and 80% of the things you're doing are giving you only 20% productivity. Well, find those 80% of the things that are only giving you 20% productivity and cut them out. And only focus on those 20% that are giving you 80% productivity. Okay? How can you do that? Well, you can write it down. Write down all the things that you're doing in your life and figure out whether they're worthwhile or not. And cut down those things that are wasting your time. Advice number 3. I urge every single one of you, my brothers and sisters, to learn those skills that will help you become more self-sufficient. Do you know, when I graduated from Medina University, I was never taught how to be a leader. I was never taught how to manage a company. I was never taught how to run finances, how to understand budgeting. I was never taught that. I learned it myself. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala taught me. How? I went to Amazon and I asked for every book that I could find on it. I went to Amazon Kindle, I downloaded every book on it. If you see on my iPad, I've got at least 700 books on it. On every single topic that I need to read on. And I read on it as much as possible. At least 3 to 4 books every single month. Does that make sense, everybody? Empower yourself with the skills. Attend courses, attend lectures that will give you the essential skills. What are those essential skills? Leadership skills, time management skills. Understand basic financial skills. So you know what it means to budget. So you know how to save. So you know what's the difference between an asset and what's the difference between a liability. People think a car is an asset, a car is a liability. Essentially, you don't understand the difference, then you'll never make money. So these basic skills you need to understand. Number 4, please focus on making money through something you're passionate about. Do not focus on making money through something someone else is passionate about. So if I were to ask you, brother, I want to get rich and I want to make some money, what should I do? Every single Muslim thinks of a pizza shop. Every single, if not then a kebab shop. If not then a manouche shop. Okay, manouche, most people won't know what manouche is. Manouche is a Lebanese pizza that we eat in the morning. It's very nice, very thin pizzas. Have anyone had it? Yes, I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. It's true, isn't it? If it's not food, we've got no idea what to do. But I'm telling you what, you can make money from what you're passionate about. Sheikh Jafar Idris, may Allah have mercy upon him, told me one day, when I had graduated from my degree in Medina, he said, Ya Tawfique, do what you love, money will follow. He said, do what you love, money will follow. Doesn't matter what it is. Subhanallah, people these days have made money from video games. Video games. We thought it's a game, it's a worthless thing. But no, if they put their passion into something, they made money from it. People have made money from things you cannot imagine. Do what you love, money will follow. One of my sheikhs, may Allah have mercy upon him, came to me in Medina. And he said, Ya Tawfique, and he told the class, of course. He said, oh class, tell me how you can make money. So we all gave weird ideas, right, of making money. Most of them food related. So he said, this is how you can make money. Number 1, by drugs. Big money, yeah? You can deal in drugs, but you'll probably die, so you won't get time to spend money. So, drugs. Number 2 is those dirty things like music and girls and all of that, you can make money, right? The third thing he said, which is amazing, amazing, and he had a big smile on his face when he said it, he said, da'wah. You can make a lot of money from da'wah. What? How can you make money from da'wah? And he then went on and he told me about all those evangelist speakers that are making millions and millions. Khair. So my brothers and sisters, when you have money and you do what you're passionate about, then spread it with the world. Don't keep it in your heart. Don't let it enter in there. Keep it in your hands and give it out. The Prophet ﷺ would not have wealth in the morning except that he would give it away. But he had money that people would give him, but he would give it away. In the last Hajj, he slaughtered 100 camels. That's 100 camels. It's a lot of money. But he was given that as a gift. So he gave it away in the cause of Allah, and he slaughtered in the cause of Allah. He used to tell Bilal, Ya Bilal, anfiq wa la takhsha min dhil arshi iqlala. Oh Bilal, give and don't fear that the one who possesses the throne will ever withhold from you. So my brothers and sisters in Islam, become wealthy, all of you. Become wealthy, all of you, but don't let it enter the heart. Help Islam, help the believers, help the deen, help spread this message. But Allah, let nothing be in your heart except Allah, but be as strong and as wealthy as you can be, so you do not feel this lack of izzah and honor, and that you bring back izzah and honor to you in this world and the